The problem is when the false self, we fall into this, like, I'd like to say, we're in disorder, or in a way it's kind of like an addiction. It's like we don't believe it exists. We'll fight for its existence. Meanwhile, what are we trying to promote or provide or reinforce? It's like this self that ultimately, needs things its way, doesn't care, won't listen, will fight for its own existence, its own meaning. It becomes very selfish and defiant, argumentative, tries to prove its points, will fight as if all this stuff matters, but it's really fighting for its own existence, which we don't realize. It's like when people are in an argument, a lot of the time, it's almost as if what you're arguing about isn't even about that anymore. It's really about how somebody's feeling, or each person is feeling. It's not about what it started out to be. It turned into something else now. It's now more about our anger and our frustration and our how we're feeling. And it's like that right there. There's a fine line of, is that the false self or the true self? And I'm going to say more times than not, it will be the false self. But it makes it kind of complicated, because how do we know? How do we know we're not being in honor to what really is the truth? This is where it gets really tricky, because that's what the false self wants you to believe. It wants you to believe that it exists and this is real. It wants you to believe that, and it will fight for its own existence. It doesn't necessarily care about you. It needs to fight to believe its own importance.